Hello, everybody, and
Oh,
welcome
shit. The
back.
girl home. I'm gonna play Dota in my room.
What?
Yeah,
That's cracks. I'm gonna go
I
play
that's
mean,
Dota.
Cracks is that roommate where it's like you bring some girls home down from the club, and he's like, I'm gonna play Dota real loud. So,
yeah, pretty
yeah,
much.
what's going
Where's
on?
my team? Take left lane. Crack
Hmm.
smash.
Yeah.
We lost.
So, anyways, where are we? What are we doing? Your melding just ended, and
Yeah.
after it's all over, he kind of like looks at you after it's over, and it's one of those like he's never experienced anything like this. He's never even been able to imagine an experience like this ever in his life. This is a euphoric experience in a way that we in real life humanity don't like. I suppose the closest thing you can come to that is like heroin. You know what I mean? Like
I was
heroin is
imagining
like
very like an LSD cocktail instead, but yeah, who knows?
LSD. LSD can be scary as shit, and certainly doesn't make you euphoric.
Melding could be scary depending on who you're melding with.
Sure, on an intellectual level, but like the feeling. I mean, it's one of those like, like he is such a euphoria that he
And
can't
then it
even.
stops.
Like
All
his
at once.
whole body is like shivering and whatnot. He's, and after it's all said and done, like he's like excited. He's like happy. He's like, this is amazing. You know, when it's all said and done. However, Entree, is exhausted.
Exhausted, sweaty.
She's literally out of breath. She's like
Happy but
weak in the
exhausted.
knees. Yeah. She is feeling a bit, what is it, weak at the moment, like what's the word I'm describing here? Like, oh, faint. She's feeling very faint.
Faint.
There we go.
Yeah. I would just very slowly like get up and like stumble to my bunk, which I imagine is the furthest one.
Mhm.
And just like sort of like just like roll onto my back and just look at the ceiling for a while.
And he's like, are you okay? So, are you okay?
Human minds are chaotic. I've trained with Asari. I've tasted the mind of a Turian before. This is not that. Oh, very different. Not bad, just different.
Yeah, different. And like he'll also like lie on his back. He's
Yeah.
not eating anymore. He's just kind of like staring at the ceiling.
And then Cattle walks in like, what just happened?
Oh no, I'm busy studying the Python console right now.
Exactly, you're busy. You wouldn't even do it.
Cattle, a surprising number of hours passes before he eventually makes his way back into the bridge.
I don't question it. I don't really care. It's just
Like-
studying the consoles.
He must have been tired. You know, humans, they sleep a lot, so he must have been tired. Eventually, you guys make your way to where it is you need to do, need to be, and your interfaces down there are so much easier. They're Ollie, and you probably are happy with your decisions for how it was you're doing your power fluctuations. Do you speak with the other two about the information that you gleaned from his mind, or do you keep it to yourself?
Assuming I have Cattle's contacts, which is we assume we do, right?
It's easy.
I would-
It's easy. You can always call him to engineering or whatever. Go ahead.
Well, I would actually just send him a message that is the humans know this ship is dangerous. They sent one already. Excessive talks in private with Lieutenant Clark revealed this as such. So I would take caution.
At first, you would get a response with like the Mass Effects like variant of Kappa, just being like excessive talks, right? Yeah. But
Yeah, and you do that, and it's like, yes, we melded. No secret.
uh,
I would keep
Well-
this information quiet, but I would be prepared for excessive danger. May
It's
the
nice to
goddess
know
watch
these
over
humans-
us.
It's nice to know these humans are very trustworthy and upfront with their information. Clearly, this makes it easier to deal with the oncoming situation.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you
Thought
for
that
sharing.
was obvious with the Batarian.
Yeah, true. I mean, it's very obvious in hindsight, but you didn't piece it all together because it's human politics.
Mhm.
So I didn't know it.
Yeah, my character mostly spent time on Solarian worlds just now, so he wouldn't really be too aware of that.
I mean, we're going into the Anakin system. At least
We're
two
going
of
into
us
the
know.
Anakin system, and
That's like a
we
war
knew
zone.
about it, but
We're taking the
We
hobbits to
we
Isengard.
weren't told we were going here, so she didn't click that until now, and now it all makes sense. So.
Yeah.
And I would actually have talked about that. Talk about that briefly with Crag. Just be like, "How are your weapons?" and things like that. Like not so subtly, making sure he's fit for combat. But yeah.
You know what,
that.
Krax is a little thick-headed, which is fine. It's normal. It's
A
expected.
little.
However, when people are being subtle about combat, it is something that he actually can easily pick up. If there's one thing that Krogans know better than anything else, it's warfare. And so if somebody's like, "Hey, are you ready to murder stuff?" He's got it. He understands. Like there's no subtlety is lost on you when it comes to this. And you may respond in kind there, Krax, or just we move on.
I mean, you probably like ask him when he's in the storage room, just like checking all the stuff.
Yes, yeah.
And he
I
just, like,
imagine I
pulls
walked to
his,
the storage room door.
He just pulls his Komodo, the big hammery stick, and it just like extends it.
I've never seen a weapon like that before. I'm sure it'll be very interesting to see if we unfortunately do end up in the not incredibly likely event of combat.
Crude but effective, like the Krogan itself.
He
Like the
just
Krogan itself.
nods and says, "It's special design," and he starts like going over all the specs on it.
She
Like-
listens. She does listen.
It's like this is the super thing he's super nerdy about. It's like, well, you see, this little ball of energy up top is exactly 2.57, and just
1.21
It's
gigawatt.
88 miles an hour.
Yeah,
Heads
that's
go
right.
flying.
It's like the only genuine thing of intelligence he really
Uh,
has displayed. It's like, this is my weapon. Here, let me
There are
tell
many
you
like it.
everything about it.
Oh, I was
I'm
just
sorry,
thinking
with
that,
the
Rick.
excite-
I was just thinking that. Oh my God,
There are many
this is
weapons.
my rifle. There are many rifles like it, but this one is my
But
own.
this one is my own.
Yeah.
This is my rifle. This is my gun. This one's for fighting. This one's also for fighting. They're both for fun.
This she would get like excited about his excitement, and just like probably only had like a 5-minute break, but ends up staying there for like an hour,
Mhm.
just listening and then asking questions.
Mhm.
Because that's the thing that she respects, is like if someone's passionate about something, she's gonna be interested no matter what. So she learns about Krogans.
Okay.
Yep.
Cool.
Well, not the background. It's just a weapon.
So-
Krogan sticks.
I do want to be
She's
clear
not there.
about a little bit of the patch of space that you guys are going into. So I mentioned the Attican Traverse. Attican Traverse is like a huge chunk of the galaxy, not necessarily a system, right? Or
It's the one that's not officially Citadel space, but is mostly Citadel races, right?
Yes, sir. And then within that, the Skillian Verge is actually a group of, I think it's 5 or 6 systems that are known as a Skillian Verge. And the Skillian Verge is like an area where humans like super expanded into when they were doing their big expansion prior to Relay Incident 314. Then that also happened to be an area that the Batarians claimed as their own place to expand into, and eventually expanded into each other, and it's caused this like rough rubbing that's going on
Friction.
here. So, and that's like this like 5-6 system area is what we're referring to. So it's not like one specific star, but as we said forever ago, Clark believes he knows which star they were flying there, and da 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 da. And so he brings you guys over to that area, and now here you are. And so, because Rick, you're the one that's taking care of scanners, you're able to choose perception or electronics, and you're able to use intelligence or wisdom to try to find what's going on.
I'll go for electronics intelligence then.
Okay. So as you guys are flying around the system or whatnot, trying to pick them up in the long-range scanners, you believe you pick up a little blips here and there that you're able to like pull up, and you send over to him, and he's looking over and everything for a little while, and eventually kind of like parsing through the data that you get from the blips, he's like, doesn't seem like the ones that we're looking for. These ships seem too live.
Cattle would take note of that. He wouldn't say anything, but he would register like the tone and like the specific wordings. Like, yeah, this is alive. That can possibly be what we're looking for.
So you're able to make another roll for me?
Oh, good. Well,
Don't fuck this one up, Rick.
I'm trying. It worked.
Is this a Rick roll? Huh? Huh?
Oh.
Oh.
You had a really good joke yesterday. You're done for the week. You can't have any good jokes now.
Listen, on Lost Initiative last night, I had like 8 really bad
There was
jokes.
one like at the end of the stream. I don't even remember it, but it was good.
I was somebody asked me, somebody like, "Oh, what is this?" I was like, "Oh, we just lost Initiative or something like that."
Yeah. That
Yeah.
was it. Yeah, the winning joke there.
So anyways, eventually you do like you said, you took note of what he said, of what he's looking for, all that stuff. I mean, Cattle's not stupid. He listens and he thinks, and so eventually Cattle's like, let me just literally remove all of this searching stuff and just really focus on what I believe he's trying to find, and eventually you do come up with very, very faint power signals that actually do happen to be rather close to the star of, one second, let me get the actual system name for you. Where is the Veritas system? So you're actually going to go to the Vetus system is the system that you're going to, and so it's going to be rather close to the star is where the Vetus system is. Okay, cool. And when you pick up this faint signal of this engine that's over there, it's hard to pick up, but you do grab it. It's faint, and so you send the coordinates of that to him, right? And when he looks it over, he's like, this does seem as though it could be something of interest. I think we're about 2 hours out. I'll let the others know and we can plan accordingly. Hey, it looks as though Cattle may have found something. Be prepared. We're about 2 hours out from where it is. We're gonna go and investigate. And so you guys,
I would ping Ontare to just make sure weapons and shields are ready.
You get a
I
thing
don't
like
trust.
they've
I don't
they've
trust
been
Spark anymore.
they've been ready since we entered the Verge. This is what she replies.
Cattle
with.
is very glad to hear that.
Yeah, I think probably Krax might have taken jobs here before. Just, like the standard extortion,
Honestly,
coercion,
yeah.
hey, we'll protect your ships kind of jobs for money.
Privateer
kind of jobs, but yeah, so he might know this area. It's really up to Scott on that one, but yeah, he would probably be on the guns if he knows this area.
You would definitely be on the guns. I imagine he doesn't know it very well, but he knows it well enough that he is like, yeah, let's not be stupid. Let's just be ready. You know what I mean?
He doesn't know a lot about it, but yeah, he might have taken 1 or 2 jobs here just as like bodyguard jobs. So he's flown through the space before or helped people get here, but nothing.
Yeah, no extended periods of time or whatever happening. No extended time or whatever spent here. Exactly. Yep. Okay, cool. We're on the same page with that one.
Something I definitely would do, especially now, just over the days that we've been traveling, is set it up so there's a screen in the engineering bay that shows what basically the bridge can see. Because I'm probably going to stay down there if shit goes down. So that's what I was like, using junk or repurposing things.
Gotcha. Cool.
Sure, that's possible.
Use bits from the Krogan's chair.
To prop it up, right? Just right, yeah.
Just so you know, and I'm not saying that you need this right now, but just so we have it on the sheet for when we do need it. Frank, the stats, and this is on the PDF page 105. The stats for the weapon that you're going to be taking is going to be the sands thrower. It's not actually a sands thrower. You know what I mean? It is like a very small repeater, like that the gun uses.
Repeater? The multi-cannon.
It's like a multi-cannon, exactly. But it is on the PDF. It's page, what did I say, 105. The stats for the sand thrower, but you actually have 2 of them. You actually have 2 sand throwers attached to this vessel, okay? The other thing that this vessel does have is it has a guardian. a Guardian system more or less has the ability to negate one hit against the ship. And so the people that can handle the Guardian, the only people that have access to activate the Guardian are the person on weapons, the person piloting, or the commander of the ship, like whoever's taking the command position. The comms person can't really work the Guardian, and the engineering person can't really work the Guardian. But the Guardian's the ability to negate a hit. And then you can actually negate technically more than one hit with the Guardian, but it's all based off of how much power the vessel has. And I actually have all that stuff statted out for myself right here. I just didn't put it into Roll20 for you guys because I'm a bad person. And I'll actually what it is I haven't decided if I want to make separate character sheets, like design whole separate character sheets in Roll20 just for ships, or if I want to just be lazy and make it a handout. You know what I mean?
Handout's good enough.
Either one.
Yeah.
I'd say.
It'll be fine, yeah.
Because it could take
so we know what we have.
It could take me 2 hours. It could take me 20 hours. You know, it's one of those like, oh, do I really want to undergo this?
Go save time route.
Yeah. So what your vessel has where it currently stands is it actually has one spare power. Assuming you're no longer doing this extended travel. If all your systems are where it's supposed to be, you have one spare power. If you leave things how Ollie currently has things like shut down or whatever, you technically have 2 spare power, and so you can spend that power to like make hits negate you. But that's like some of the life support systems are shut down, some of this is shut down, some of that. If Ollie's continuing things like that, then you could have 2 spare power. Moving on. So you have that stat on your character sheet, Frank?
Yep. Spark on 1, spark on 2.
And the way that the attack works with it, it's not a Guardian system. It works under repeaters is what it's going to work under. Yeah, that's right, because you can use because Guardian's like super short range. And then it's long range and repeaters, and then pilot is because any attack roll can be replaced by piloting instead of those skills. Okay? There you go. So repeaters. Moving on. You guys are approaching this vessel. You had your quick little side conversation and everything of concerns, and you're approaching this vessel as quickly as you can to look it out. Who was poring over the data of what was happening of the things? I suppose it was Rick specifically that'd be poring over the data. So I'm gonna have him make for me a. I could do it really quickly. Electronics. Yeah, it's gonna have to be an electronics check. Neither one of you are particularly good at electronics, are you? No.
-1.
Yeah. So same with him. He's gonna do an electronics intelligence check for parsing through the data as you guys get closer and are doing more.
Just quick FYI, I can only put one ship weapon on before the other one deletes itself. So.
Wait, what?
Yeah, it's not letting me put the second one on for whatever reason.
I had multiple on the other day, and it wasn't.
I know. I think it's just my sheets glitching out. So
Sorry about that.
No, that's fine. I made a roll for you, and I rolled a 7, so you're good. So him parsing through the data that he goes there, and Frank, if it continues to be an issue, let me know. Like maybe even just restart Roll20 and try again.
Yeah.
And I will adjust if need be. So as he's parsing through that data, he's able to realize. The fact that he was able to pick up the power signal he was as far away as he was is actually a surprise. Because when he gets closer to the power signal, he realizes it's actually way more faint than he thought. And that's when he realizes it's not one power signal. It's actually 3 faint power signals.
Oh, good.
Yeah. It's actually 3 faint power signals. And so when you guys get closer and you're finally able to like throw a visual up on the screen, you can actually see there is in fact a human vessel that is sitting there dead in space. But there's another vessel, clearly not a human vessel, but you can't quite make out what it is yet, that is attached to it, much like the device that you guys have, where it's like a boring hole that like digs into part of the ship, and that's how it got on. But then you also see what's clearly an Alliance military vessel also attached to the ship as well, but this time like it's aligned so the two of them can dock one another. so it's been properly docked to one another. So that's actually what you guys are seeing there, and all three of them have very, very faint signals that were difficult for you to pick up as you were traveling. And so this is what you're seeing, and at this point in time, you're probably about 20 minutes out as you're picking up these signals, and it's one of those, like, as you and him notice that, the captain throws the pilot throws the thing on there, Lieutenant Clark, and says, "You two might want to get up here."
I would
that to
address
me
him at
and
this point, and it'll be like, "Is this standard Alliance doctrine? Line up next to them and start boarding."
He gestures at the one that bore a hole into the top one or whatever. He's like, "That's not an Alliance vessel."
No, I gathered that, but there is an Alliance vessel there, docked with the vessel that is docking.
It's docked with the other Alliance, so it's like,
Oh, okay.
yeah, the one that you were
I
searching for
misinterpreted
on
then.
top, and then yeah, there you go.
In that case, I probably wouldn't have mentioned it then.
Okay, you keep it to yourself. So I unless he moves slowly, Cracks can definitely get there first.
Oh, Krax is probably already there.
Okay, and then you, like, more or less, like, as he's giving that command, you're like walking in the door, or already had just come in the door, and so you see, like, on the display the two vessels attached to the one other one.
Yeah, he just actually aims one of each gun towards one of the ships.
Oh, that's right, you're working guns. You were there the whole time. He says specifically to the Antari, "You might want to get up here." There we go. So it looks in the engineering room thing. So you aim your guns at. Go ahead.
One gun per ship.
Sure.
Just
And
like, well, I don't know which one. He didn't tell me which is enemy.
so as Antari walks into the room, because it's relative silence up there at the moment, as Antari walks into the room and kind of like takes it all in, does she say anything immediately, or does she just kind of like take it in first?
She's quiet. She just stands in the back.
He finishes getting the ship over to the more or less autopiloting at a slower trajectory, at like a slower speed, and he turns around and actually stands up and says, "I don't know what to make of this."
I would take note of that and...
All
Would I
right.
be able to start working over decryption right now to, like, figure out what's going on, or if there's any signals coming out, that sort of thing?
You can start working on that while he starts talking. Absolutely. So he walks over and he kind of walks up to the display itself, and he points at the ship that's in the center, and he's like, "This right here, this is the ship that went dark several days ago. This is the one that we're here to find, the one that we're trying to make sure that everybody's okay. This right here," gesturing to the ship that is Alliance, this right here seems to be an Alliance military vessel, one that would have come to investigate the matters and see how things are going. It looks as though that they've been able to successfully dock with the ship. However, they themselves also have their power is turned way down. Why? I have no idea. And then gestures towards the other one. He's like, "We don't know what this ship is. This is a UFO. So, are any of you able to identify what kind of vessel this is?"
I mean, I could try.
I would definitely be
Perception,
trying
intelligence,
to,
or lore?
to identify it. Lore intelligence, yeah?
Mhm.
Cool. I might have a shot at it then.
I'm gonna
Yeah.
try, but more for
Whoa,
fun.
fuck you, Rick. Beat ya. I wasn't even paying attention.
I melded with someone on a vessel like that once.
She's not a
Hit
space
this
slut.
shit.
Not yet.
Okay, so you go up there, and it's actually, so Rick, you were able to tell. Obviously, this isn't of human make. You know, he just made that obvious or whatever for you. But you're actually able to tell that this vessel is of another hodgepodge design, making it a little bit difficult to make out what it is. You believe it is Batarian in its origins. You believe that's the case to it. However, Antwe knows that this is definitely a Batarian vessel. Like, he's like, the Solarian's pretty sure. You are positive.
Well, then it seems there is trouble with the Batarians after all. What's a Batarian craft doing? Boarding?
Yeah, boarded, and yeah.
Well, that's why
the aggressive version.
It looks so strange to her, because she doesn't even know much about space combat, honestly.
Gotcha. Frank, don't worry about the fact that you can only make one weapon because you're just going to be using the same one.
It's the same weapon.
Anyways.
You can just double roll it. Yeah, it's
I'll just
fine.
have to fix it because that's annoying that's happening. So
Yeah, it was more for if I had to shoot at 2 different things, it's just organization.
after I did my my test run, after I like added that part to the sheet and everything, I actually had 4 different weapons on there, including guardian systems and and it wasn't.
Yeah,
an issue.
it might just be. Yeah, it's probably just my sheet. I probably did something wrong.
Yeah. No.
Abundantly.
It's very, very possibly the code. This Roll20, if it has any form of minor update, it fucks with all custom sheets.
Oh yeah, that sounds like Roll20 to me.
Which it makes sense if like all of a sudden your skills and whatnot were thrown off. It's very possible they had a minor update, one that's not
Mine were
worthy of
fine.
noting. So, moving on.